So, Advanced Wars. Wars. I thought I had the copy here, but I do not apparently. But anyways. To repeat, because I was muted for 2 minutes, it's on the previous take. Thankfully, I noticed it this time. God, seriously, that's 2 weeks of videos in a row that happened with. Anywho. But anyways, Advanced Wars. I enjoyed Advanced Wars for what it was. Now I know what you're gonna say. Blue Wolf, you scored the collection like a net negative 15 on gameplay. Yes, I did. Here's the thing. Well, it was net negative 14, excuse me. Still recovering. Same day I recorded Unicorn Overlord, for the record. But anyways, the whole thing with Advanced Wars was I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't that bad of an experience. I enjoyed playing Unicorn Overlord. Wow! Brain, function, please. Advanced Wars was actually pretty fun to play. Unicorn Overlord at times was fun to play, but Advanced Wars was actually kind of fun when it didn't have bad map design, and I just realized I should turn my monitor off. The problem is I don't have a lot to say about this one. So don't expect me to be talking for very long. I'll probably be talking about this one for about 5 minutes or so. Okay, not that short, but like 15 minutes is about what I'm estimating here. We'll see if that turns into like 20 like it did on the stream, but that's beside the point. The point I'm making here, though, is Advanced Wars is a game I recommend playing. Because this game is Advanced Wars is fun, especially the second one is fun to play, but not to play through. Because a lot of the map design of the campaign is just wow, that's harsh. With some of it being absolute bullcrap. That being said, however, if you really want me to show you just how little I have to say about this game, I've literally only got a single page of notes, right? Now you might think, oh, that's average. No, for me, an average is usually like 3 or 4 pages of notes. But a one page of notes is usually reserved for like really old games that I just what the hell do I even say about it, right? Mario 1 and Mario 3 coming to mind immediately when I say that. And there's another video I got to record. But anyways, the point is that there is some cool stuff on display here. I actually like the whole unit system and how units will get weaker as they take damage, because that actually makes sense, because each unit is a platoon, a squadron, right? And as the squadron, loses health, loses members of its squad, it gets weaker. That makes a lot of sense. It can make things frustrating, but it is still kind of a fun experience. I don't hate this game. I just don't enjoy playing through it. But if, say, my friends wanted to play a multiplayer map with me at some point, right? Like, hey, why don't we play a multiplayer map of Advanced Wars? Yeah, sure, I'll play Advanced Wars multiplayer, because that part of the game is fun. Now, if you were to ask me to play through the campaign of Advanced Wars, well, that'd be a little trickier, you know? Also, the versus mode is amazing, by the way. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I was intending to talk about the history first, because I find the history of this game way more fascinating than the gameplay. But I kind of want to give you the TLDR of the gameplay first. By the way, there's going to be no spoiler section this time. because I've got nothing to say about the story. Ori. The Black Hole Army are borderline Gary Stews, whose Sturm is a worthless villain, and this feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. Even in terms of tone. Bam. That's all I have to say about the story. I really don't have anything to say. Like, at most, I could talk about like this one element, this one scene involving Sammy basically telling one of the black hole dudes, because okay, you know what? I'll just talk about it. It's not really a spoiler because it's just a joke that happens. I'm reiterating a joke, you know. Oh, like there's no big reveal. I'm not spoiling anything by telling you this, other than spoiling the joke. But there's a point where Sammy of the Orange Star Army, is told to surrender by one of the villain faction, Black Hole Army. Specifically, the one that tells her to surrender is Adder, who, fun fact, is voiced by the same voice actor as Cyril and Wazzy of all freaking characters. So evil Wazzy is trying to get Sammy to surrender, and her reply is I made a joke on stream about her reply being because she tells her officer who relays the message, all right, here's our reply, jot this down word for word, and then we cut away to Eagle getting a report about it. The next scene is Eagle getting a report on it, and Eagle's like, well, what did she say? I don't want to say, sir. Oh, come on, why can't you say? It's ridiculously impolite, so I'm just gonna jot this down, and then you can go ahead and read it here sir. All right, let's knock Blue Wolf's phone on the floor, and then read what she said. All right, so what did she say? Okay, he doesn't burst. Eagle doesn't burst out laughing, but he does start laughing because he's just like, wow. So Sammy does get captured. It's the black hole that we should be concerned about. Funny how Sammy actually has friendships with both a Green Earth, that's Eagle's faction. Both a member with both Eagle from Green Earth and Sonya from Gold Comet. Oh, fun fact: Sonya is actually voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris, doing her Fee voice from Trails. Like, it's hilarious. And then you've got Kaji Tang being Sonya's father, Kanbei, and he does the frickin' Owain voice. Well, not like 1-to-1, but like you can see him like in. It's almost as if he's doing a if Owain was this was a samurai kind of thing, right? A stereotypical samurai is the idea, because again, Nintendo does love when it does these cartoony things, like its stereotypes. Punch Out, anyone? Now, obviously, I am not of any of those cultures, so I cannot say how offensive or unoffensive of any of the Punch Out stereotypes are. But it was all in good fun, right? Because again, cartoony vibe. You know. And what's funny is that it is the vibe of, because there are different strengths and weaknesses. That's kind of the whole point of it, right? There's even one character that I absolutely love. I guess I'm just getting right into it, isn't it? There's one character I absolutely love in this thing, and it's Sensei, who's voiced by Josea. So we basically got old man Josea. And oh man, I love Sensei. He was just a hoot. And his theme was awesome. By the way, I love that all of the characters have their own theme songs. And it's actually kind of awesome in that regard. Heard. Heard. And I just realized something. There are Yoshi drums. Shit. Well, I guess we're editing the thing live right here in camera. Because when you're in a menu, it actually changes the music, so the music doesn't distract you in the menu. It's actually kind of nice in that regard. So yeah, that actually ups the score yet again. Whoa! I said ups the score, not lowers the score, Alex. Come on now. My keyboard is starting to be stupid, so I accidentally typed two threes. Yeah, no. I have actually not encountered a game whose final gameplay score was net negative. There we go. There we go. Changed it all up. So there we go. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to correct an oversight. I can't believe I missed that. I just thought of it like right now because Sensei, and I encountered it a lot because with Sensei's theme, that's what made me think of it, right? I'll probably edit that out, so if there was a crossfade, yeah. So I apologize, but regardless, yeah, no, I really don't have much to say about either the story or the gameplay. Not really. I I do like playing this game. But again, it's not something I'm going to be jumping back to. It's one that I think is worth the money, but it's not one that I feel like you need to go get now. But I guess I'll mention it now here at the end because I am pretty much done. I could talk about the ending of Advanced Wars 2. I could talk about Eagle being slightly misogynistic at the beginning of his portion of the campaign at Advanced Wars 2. I could talk about, I could talk about each of the individual members of the Black Hole Army, but that would just be a giant waste of time because I've basically said my piece about all of these characters on the stream. I will say this: as much as I got frustrated at Advanced Wars, it was not a bad game. But there is one thing about Advanced Wars that I meant to say at the beginning, but I'll say it here at the end instead. I appreciate Advanced Wars more than I like playing it. Now, you might be tempted to say, "Huh?" Well, the funny thing is that Advanced Wars was let's call it the connecting piece, the link between Smash Brothers Melee, the Smash Brothers Melee, and us finally getting a localized version of Fire Emblem. See, Fire Emblem had been stuck in Japan for 12 years of its for about a decade for over a decade of its existence. Because there was this nasty, well, okay. There is a speculation that I can totally believe is true because of the frankly still present xenophobia of Japan, and that the West would not accept, would not get into something like a tactical RPG. But then Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was president of Nintendo at the time, basically got people writing into him saying, "Hey Reggie, what's Fire Emblem?" And so that kind of put the idea in NOA's mind. Oh, maybe we could try bringing over tactical RPG, the Fire Emblem series. But you know what? Let's localize Advanced Wars. Because I think Advanced Wars predated like Famicom Wars predated Fire Emblem. I'm pretty sure because Fire Emblem was late. Famicom life cycle. Keep in mind, Fire Emblem 1, as in Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon of the Blade of Light, that was 1990. Like, no joke. That was 1990, my friends. So, literally, all Advanced Wars, sorry, Famicom Wars would have to do would be to come out, like, a year prior, and yeah. Yeah, and that's how old this series is, by the way. Advanced Wars was just the GBA version of Famicom Wars. But to be honest with you, I really like this game. And I really like this story because, so then they localized Advanced Wars and we're like, okay, we'll localize Advanced Wars. We'll see if it sells. If it sells, we'll localize Fire Emblem. Forgive me if I repeat myself on this one because I forget because I edited the because I didn't actually I don't actually remember if I said this in the Blazing Blade video, but you'll know next week, which is coming for you next week. I've decided, yeah, just next week. Yeah, the Advanced Wars sold. The first Advanced Wars sold, and then we got Fire Emblem. Now, to be fair, Fire Emblem and Advanced Wars didn't sell very, very strong in the West, but I would love a comeback of Advanced Wars. I would. But I'd be lying if I said, I'm not sure the form it would take, you know? Just keep Miyamoto and his gimmick-loving insanity away from it, please. Like, not him. You don't need to keep Miyamoto away from it. Just keep his gimmick fetish away from it, you know? Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. That's what ruined Star Fox Zero. The frickin' Wii U gamepad. And I like the Wii U gamepad, you know? But anyways. But yeah, that's all I've got for this one. And that's all I've got for this one. I like I said, I knew this was going to be short. I don't have a lot to say about this game, about Advanced Wars. But I am grateful that Advanced Wars is a thing. So thank you, Advanced Wars, for giving us Fire Emblem. Speaking of which, next week, from your perspective, is Blazing Blade. Until next time, Blue Wolf Alex of the Lore Walker signing out. Have a good one. And yeah, it turned into 20 minutes.